Good evening. I'm William Ferguson. This is Common Sense. Lately, things have going awry in this country in politics, in the judicial system, in law enforcement. And so the thought came to mind, is it fair? What is fair? What is fair? Is it fair that the Democrats, you can call them Democrats, that's what they call themselves, I call them socialists. Is it fair that they lie to the people? Look at what Ocasio Cortez was promising: free everything. You can have free stuff. Well, they took a vote on it today, and the Republicans said no, and the Democrats said nothing. Does that mean that people can actually think in Washington, D.C., that they figured out that the idea of this Green Deal is foolishness? It's a waste. All it does is take from the people. It doesn't give the people freedom. And the lie that was told, was that fair? I think it was. Because it opens a door into what these people are really trying to do. They're lying to the public. So, what does that mean they're trying to do? Undermine the Constitution? Probably. Control the people? Probably. Take all the money, all the assets, and do with it what they want? Probably. The people in DC finally thought about things and said, this idea, it won't work. It will never ever fly. It will cause this country to go broke so fast it make your head spin. It wasn't fair. What is fair? What is fair? Are millionaires and billionaires fair? Yeah. Yeah, they are. Not only is it fair, but it should be a motivation for the rest of us. Well, I want to have a lot of money. I want to have enough money to raise a family, have a car, have two cars, one for me, one for my wife. I want to have enough money so that my wife doesn't have to work, but she can stay home and keep the house. And don't even go feminist on me. And say, oh, you just want her to stay home and slave with the children and do the laundry and all the rest. No, no, no. If there's enough money being made, have her invest it. Have her get into real estate. Buy this, sell that. Perhaps buy an apartment complex, an RV park, something that makes money so that dad doesn't have to work so hard. How about that? You see, this country is becoming so unfair, it's not funny. How about this retribution idea? I can't remember whose it is. I think it's Harris's idea to pay the black people in this country. I can't say African American because they come from all over. They come from the Caribbean. They come from Brazil. They come from all over. And so I can't say African American. I can say blacks, Negroes, whatever. But she wants to pay them because their ancestors might have been involved in slavery. Is that fair? No, it's not. They weren't involved in any slavery, except the slavery that the Democrats keep pressing on them. by selling them, we'll give you food stamps, we'll pay for your rent, your electric, everything. Just vote for us and we'll keep giving you. But in keeping giving you stuff, that means you're not going to break out of where you are. We're not going to give you enough so that you can get out of the projects, out of the inner city. We're going to keep you beaten down as our slaves, which is exactly what they're doing. And so, how foolish is that? How fair is that? How fair is it to convince people that it's better to stay at home and do nothing than to go to work and progress in whatever you do at work to make more money? To make more money. Perhaps find a spouse, get married, double your money. And right now, with the economy the way it is, I'm afraid the Democrats might have a hard time with this. We'll give you, and keep you beaten down. Because jobs are, there's a lot of them. There's plenty. Get a job. And that's not fair either. That the Democrats keep saying, we'll give you, keep you beaten down, keep you in the projects, keep you in the inner city. Is it fair? And I heard today, I was out on my Harley riding around, and I had the radio on, and I heard that the last couple days, they have taken in 4,000 people a day, crossing the border in the soft spots, the places where the real wall, the fence, hasn't been put up yet. And it's not points of entry. It's between the points of entry. And they're just wandering in. Whatever. Is that fair? Is that fair to anybody? Is it fair to the people that want to come here that are just going to get, hopefully, turned around and sent back to where they came from? Is it fair to the people of the United States that we have to pay for their education, their health, their housing, their food, everything? Is that fair? Is it? But you see, the Democrats, socialists, whatever, they're trying to beat it into your brain. Oh, that's inhumane. No. What's inhumane is keeping the border open and inviting these people to walk miles across deserts, dying in some cases. And that is not fair at all. That's not fair to anybody. And you can say, oh, well, we need cheap labor, we need this. No, we don't need people dying out in the deserts of Mexico or of the United States. It's not fair. Now, let's get to what's really not fair, that really got into my craw. This person in Chicago that's a TV star, who cares? Jessup, I believe his name is. But it happens with the liberals over and over and over. He blatantly committed crimes, felonies, and they were dropped because one of the higher up attorneys in Chicago said, no, but then we find out there's a connection to Soros. Oh, our friendly buddy, the billionaire George Soros, that can't stand anything. And so it's said that Michelle Obama has a connection, and there's connections here and there, and I think it's the city's AG. I'm not sure, or the head prosecutor. But they're not doing anything. And I was I, it really surprised me that Rahm Emanuel even came out and said, "What did you do that for?" I can't agree with that at all. And I really hope the state's attorney general gets in on that one and says, "No, what you did was unethical and illegal." So, and she didn't recuse herself of the case when she should have. And now we've got this guy being an example to others in this country, saying, "Oh, hey, what happened to me? Oh, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Of course I didn't do it." And so everybody else in this country can, "Oh, well, I shot him, yeah, but I didn't do it. Yeah, I wrote the suicide note, but and I shot him, but I didn't do it." Why not? It's the same thing. Only what he did was worse. Okay? Using his color, his race, as the basis for his little scheme so that he could get publicity, I guess. Really? And he used the U.S. mail to do it. That, in and of itself, is a felony because he's pulling a scam through the mail. No, 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 we don't do that. And so, is that fair? Is it? Actually, everything on this earth is fair. You don't want it to be. I don't want it to be. I think if you do a crime, you should pay the price. But we're humans. Let's think about this. God created us, every last one, and every last one of them has inherent evil in us. Every last one. There's only one that didn't, and that was Jesus, the Son of God. So we're all even. We're all even. So it's all fair. But the sad part is, we here on earth are not the final judge. God, the Creator, is the final judge. And Jessup, or whatever his name is gay. And that is an abomination in God's eyes. You don't plead innocent to that one. Is it fair? Yeah, it is. Because every last human being on this planet has the opportunity to hear the gospel, to read the Bible, to find God, to find Jesus, to turn from evil and live good. And in the end, if you don't, fairness will reign because God is absolutely fair. And if you end up burning in hell, you can't say that wasn't fair because it was. Because every last human being has sinned. We have evil. We have done evil against man, against God. You can't escape it. You can't. So everything that happens here on earth that we don't vindicate, get justice for, oh yeah, it'll happen in the end. You think Hillary Clinton's really getting away with something? No. God knows. God knows every last human being on this earth, what you're doing, how your heart is, what condition your spirit is in. Are you ready to go? Are you ready to look Jesus in the eye and say, "Who are you? I don't know you." And he looks at you and says, "I never knew you." But when I go there, I'm going to be at his feet, baby. You know it. Because he had guts. I think I have guts joining the Marine Corps, being willing to fight and die for this country. But Jesus literally walked into his death knowing he was going to die, knowing he was going to be beaten and tortured, and then hung on a cross and die. But then when he died, he released his spirit. And now his spirit is here with us. I can't pull it out of my pocket and show you. You got to find it yourself. You have got to come to God and say, I've done evil. I have sinned. Seek forgiveness. Quit sinning. Repent. And life in this country is not Democrat versus Republican. It's not capitalism versus socialism. It's good versus evil. And it's been that way since the beginning. Don't let the evil Democrats win. Vote for the conservative Christian Republican. And this country, as it says in the Bible, if you will turn away from your sin and seek forgiveness, God will heal this land big time. And the stuff that God does, I don't understand some of it most of the time, but I do it because I found out the hard way, being as stubborn as I am, that once you do turn away and start living according to God's word, the life that man was meant to live, it's wonderful. It's great. It's awesome. It really is. That's all I've got for now. Please pray for the president and the leaders of this country, that they will follow God closely to guide this country. Please pray for the men and women, first responders, military, and such, that God will keep them safe and bring them home in one piece to their loved ones. I'm William Ferguson, and this is Common Sense.